Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Today I've got a new fragrance brand for you, line HAMIDI by Armaf. Now technically it's not called HAMIDI by Armaf, it's HAMIDI from the house of Sterling Parfums, which is the same people behind Armaf. And indeed, when HAMIDI reached out to me, that's what they said. This is coming from the exact same people that do Armaf, so they basically pitched it as HAMIDI by Armaf. And truth be told, this video, had a lot of twists and turns, even getting to the point that I'm at right now filming this, because I already filmed first impressions on all the different HAMIDI fragrances that they sent me, which, as you can see here, is these 5. All of them already opened because I already did this video. But now I'm redoing the video, and why is that? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about, as well as each of the fragrances. Now there is a code associated with these fragrances, with this house, with this brand, which is linked in the description. Feel free to check it out down there. There's a lot of other HAMIDI fragrances, HAMIDI clones that I'm not talking about today, so there's a bunch. The code is Gents25. It'll get you 25% off anything on the website, so pretty substantial. And you can use that anytime you want to shop for any of these HAMIDIs. So obviously when I heard that there was a new Armaf, essentially, popping up here, yeah, that got me interested, because Armaf, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, clone houses out there. So for them to be doing something new, it's like, oh, okay, well, what is this then? Is this gonna be like the higher end of Armaf? Is this just gonna be like the Maison Alhambra to Armaf's Lattafa or something? I got them in, and yeah, that's where there were some issues. Now, initially, there was a 10% off discount code that they gave me. So obviously smaller discount code, that's not really what the issue was. The issue was these were way too friggin' expensive. Now let's just take this one, for example, because this is gonna be the easiest one to talk about just as we get started with this description of how things have gone so far. Look at that. What is this? Addicted Intense. Well, just looking at that, you should know right away that is a clone of Creed's Aventus. Now, how many Aventus clones are there on the market? I mean, ridiculous amounts, right? What price point do you think would be good for a good quality Aventus clone? Think about it, think about it. So for some of you, this number is gonna be 30 bucks. Some of you is gonna be 40. Some would say even up to 60. This was priced at $120. That is crazy. And even with the 10% discount, even with the 25% discount, that is way too much. And it's not like you're getting an insane presentation here, right? And then we've got this one, for example, Fusion HAMIDI. Presentation here is nicer, which we'll look at these a little bit closer here in just a moment. But still, this right here, this is a clone of Invictus Aqua 2016. What would you pay for a good Invictus Aqua clone? This is 85 milliliters. So not even a full 100, priced at $120. Again, stupid. So essentially, in the original video, I just roasted these far too pricey. And I sent an email off to HAMIDI and I was like, hey, thank you for sending this stuff to me, but it is absurdly priced. I'm sorry. There's not a chance that I could recommend this to anybody. I let everybody know in the video it's gonna be coming out soon. Thanks. And then they emailed me back and they were like, well, thank you for letting us know that we're slashing the prices on everything and giving you a 25% off discount code instead of 10. Now I have to redo the video. So in full transparency, that's what happened. And now we are reevaluating these fragrances based off of their actual prices now. First up, Addicted Intense. Quick look at the box and the bottle. You have on the front there a very, very obvious Creed inspired front to the presentation there. You've got the name of the house up top. On the back, you have a little information on the fragrance and your sticker of authenticity. And then on the bottom, you have your batch code and barcode. And here is the bottle. We'll say this one got beat up in transit. So on the front there, you have a little sticker that has Addicted HAMIDI Parfum. Part of my Intense has been scraped off and there's like a chip on the front of the bottle, a big chip on the back of the bottle, and just overall looks looks beat up. So the pricing on this one has dropped down to $45. So from 120 to 45. Now, Addicted Intense is going to be much more of like a fruity take on a Ventus. It's not so much a smoky one. The opening is way smoother than Club de Nuit Intense Man, so you're not gonna get that harshness off the top. You're not gonna get that lemon cleaner kind of opening. Has good performance, so you do get good longevity here, good projection here, and it's a solid Aventus alternative. So this would be wonderful for somebody looking for an Aventus fragrance, an Aventus clone that doesn't have so much of that birch, of that smoke, where they want something that's going to be more fruit forward, more smooth, more inviting, with still good performance. And of course, with it being an Aventus style fragrance, it is going to be a compliment puller with extreme versatility. And the quality here at that price point, at 45 bucks, yeah, it's good there. Makes sense. A lot of other fragrances to talk about, so we'll keep it moving. The next one that I showed you, it is a Fusion Amity. Now, one thing that I do find kind of odd with the brand right now, the way they have it set up, is it doesn't seem to me anyway really cohesive. So what I mean by that is, you look at this, you can tell this is Aventus, right? Just by the box and everything. You look at this, does anything about this say Invictus Aqua to you? From the name to the box to the bottle, no. And you see that across these as well. There's all these different presentation styles, different box styles, different bottle styles, different naming conventions, but none of it really makes me think about what they're cloning. So it's kind of like just all up in the air to an extent, like they're still trying to figure out exactly what they're doing. Maybe this gets more fleshed out as time goes on. So here's the box for Fusion Amity, and I do think this looks much nicer, much higher end. You have the concentration and size at the bottom. 85 mils is the size. And on the back, you have, once again, your sticker from the House of Sterling. Then on the bottom, your badge code and barcode. And the bottle sits right inside here, kind of like the old Amouage bottles or boxes. And here is your bottle. And this one looks a little bit nicer than the Addicted one. You know, it's not all scuffed up, so there is that as well. You have a sticker on the back that you can see through the front of the bottle, which is clear. And then the cap has a little heft to it. Let's go ahead and spray this one out. There we go. So this one is also $45 now, marked down from $120, what it was. And this one is excellent. This one is very good. It's got good performance. It's really nice, it's sweet. It does smell like Invictus Aqua, right in that style, the original Invictus Aqua. The sweetness doesn't go too far, so that bubblegum sort of Invictus style sweetness, you know, it's not overloaded here, and I really like that. It's kind of reined in a little bit, gives it more wearability, more versatility for me personally. And I know that obviously Aventus is the more successful fragrance overall, but I think between these two, that I like Fusion Amity a little bit more, mainly because there aren't quite as many higher quality Invictus Aqua alternatives out there. There are a few, but there are way more Aventus style fragrances, right? So that makes me lean a little bit more toward that one, and the presentation is a bit nicer as well. You do get less of it though, 35 mils less, so there is that. After that, we have Prestige Honor. So this one comes in a standard box style. It looks a little nicer than the Addicted one though. This one is an 80 mil size. So again, it's just really kind of all over the place. You got a 120 mil, an 85 mil, now an 80 mil. Just really, you got the sticker on the back, all that good stuff, all the usual suspects on the box. And there is your bottle. Kind of a pink color to the bottle, kind of a pink color to the box as well. So any guesses, based off the look of this, what this would be a clone of in the name? Oh, I guess we didn't look at the bottle too much. There it is. Yeah, it's really heavy in the hand, feels nice. Cap has a little heft to it. It is a clone of Armani Code. So this was $75, now it's $37.50. And I should say that the pricing I'm quoting you, $37.50, the pricing for these, that is after using the 25% off code. And this one, I just really, I didn't understand it. At 75 though, a clone of Code, it's like, why wouldn't you just get Code, right? At least at $37.50, it's a better deal. So this one, it does have similarities to Code, maybe like slightly fresher than Code, and it leans like a little more unisex instead of masculine. So it's like Armani Code Eau de Toilette if you were to freshen it up a little bit, give it a touch of sweetness, and then have it lean a little bit more toward unisex instead of masculine. What do we got next? We have this guy right here, Midnight Amber. And this one is 110 milliliters. Yeah, 120, 85, 80, 110. So this one is Maison Luxe Midnight Amber, so a different line, each of these in a different line. You have the name of the fragrance house up top, little info on the back, sticker, all that good stuff, and there it is, Midnight Amber. So this one just a cylindrical bottle. You have a little metal plaque on the front there, wooden cap. Do not try to pick this up by the cap. It doesn't really stick on there. And then on the bottom, you have a sticker. So this one was $120 originally. Now it's $48.75. So one of the more expensive ones. This is a clone of Ombre Nomad from Louis Vuitton, which is a very popular fragrance and a fragrance that has been emulated a number of times here. This one is a clone of Ombre Nomad from Louis Vuitton, which is a very popular fragrance and one that has been emulated a lot here recently. And again, very good quality, very nice for that price point. Extremely smooth, as all of these have been. When you spray it on, you get hit with that rose, with those additional florals, with that dark woodiness underneath, with the ambery warmth, the spice, the sweetness over top. Presentation is pretty simplistic and everything, but it smells well done. The blend is good. It doesn't come across like anything sticks out in a way that makes it off-putting. I've only worn it a couple times. Projection seemed pretty decent, although maybe it could use a little more pop for me, but $48.75, solid overall. And then the last one here, Shams edition, Misk Fleur, L'eau de Aqua. L'eau de Aqua, wouldn't that just mean like aqua water? Or, yeah. And this one is 100 mils. On the back, we've got the sticker, all that good stuff. This one has a pretty nice presentation. It even has like a little backing right here. So that's cool. And then we have the bottle, which this one is nice and heavy in the hand. The cap is, decently weighted as well. Sticker on the bottom. One thing about this one that's very awkward is the fragrance on the inside there looks like something. It looks like milk, okay? I don't know like the thought process behind this one where they were like, you know what, we need something to set this apart, make it look like milk. This one was $95 originally, and it's a clone of Stellar Times from Louis Vuitton. It is the cheapest now. It is $33.75. To me, a lot of this feels like they're still trying to figure out kind of where they're going with it, right? They're cloning all these different things, and some of them make sense. Sure, Aventus, Invictus Aqua, whatever, Louis Vuitton, sure. Armani Code, what? You gonna clone Versace Pour Homme next? It doesn't make a ton of sense. And then all these different names, all these different lines, but what do they truly mean, right? Like what does fusion mean? Like what does that entail you? I would think fusion would be your clone line where you're taking two popular fragrances and making blends. That would make sense as a fusion line. Prestige, what does that mean? Shams edition, Maison Luxe. Back to this. It's unisex, leaning feminine. It has a really nice vanilla note to it. It's almost kind of like a beachy fragrance that leans more toward cooler weather, if that makes sense. Like it has a nice warmth to it. It has soft white florals in there right off the bat. It's well done, other than the weird milky thing. And I would say actually for the price point, it might be the best buy here. I think the best ones of the bunch, for me personally, are going to be this one, the clone of Invictus Aqua. That's really well done. This one with the weird stuff inside of it for the price point is a great buy. This is a good clone of Ombre Nomad, and this is also a good clone of Aventus. The issue is they fall into a sea of clones of those two fragrances where it starts to be kind of hard to stick out. They're both well done, and I don't think anybody would be disappointed in getting them to be an alternative to those fragrances. It's just, again, it's hard to stick out. So there we go. Those are my first impressions on these. Again, code Gents25, 25% off anything on the website. I'll try to get more of these in the future to see how they stack up, see which ones are going to be like the standouts because there have to be some that are like really far and away the best. I think my main issue, and I could be completely wrong talking out of my butt here, is just the way things have gone so far with the pricing being here, and then the code being this, and then that. It seems like everything is in flux and they're trying to figure it out. But instead of figuring it out before they start doing everything, they're trying to figure it out after they did everything. And I do want to emphasize again, the quality here is actually good. It's on par with what you would expect. And the pricing, what it is now, that makes much more sense. But yeah, that's where we are, kind of the birth of this, and we'll see if it learns to walk and eventually run, or if it just like kind of stumbles off a cliff. I guess we'll see. Let's hope for the best. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. And a shout out again to the fine folks at HAMIDI for sending these my way and for allowing me to talk about them. See you later.